The word independence stands out amongst the many buzzwords of the 20th century from an arbitrary reset. Lots of violence has been unleashed for the sake of this word. Many proudly proclaim themselves as independent just because they are able to support themselves financially through one means or the other. So is financial independence independence. What about all the prisons in the mind? And is there any real financial independence the day the banks say this credit account is not valid? One loses their fictional financial independence. Same goes for the hand-drawn lines called countries. There have been major wars of independence in America, India, and the rest. But who got independent and from whom? To PT's eyes, it is still a United Kingdom. All the so-called independent countries are all in debt to a mysterious organization called World Bank, and all are dependent on it for loans to keep their pseudo-economies going. So when all the so-called countries got their so-called independence, it was only a sham, as the strings were now going to be pulled through a more intangible control tool. Money. Military control took too much effort. Financial control was far easier. Nobody questioned anything because they were independent. On a personal level, this makes any person feel good. The ego is satisfied by the myth of independence, when the reality is that most are just pawns in a game. The definition of independence has never been asked for. Oxford Webster's dictionary is satisfactory enough for most. Is a person in a prison with metal bars not independent? They can think what they like, dream what they like, put their attention where they want to. The only real independence anyone ever had was to put their attention where they wanted to, i.e., the devil or the divine. This independence is called free will and cannot be taken away by any outside entity or force, unless one misuses it to the extent that amidst the twists and tangles one feels one doesn't have a choice anymore. Any other independence which is sold in this world is a soap bubble which, as we all know, is not something which lasts too long. All these independences do is create an unhumble attitude. 'Cause after all, even the Jedis are dependent on the Force. So, Divine is just unbelievably brilliant as always. Yes, it really doesn't make sense that only one like one politician would be under certain control and all the rest would be fiercely independent. So only on the Isle of Dajjal does anyone have the intelligence to see past all the fat rolls and notice some kind of policy issue. I think a lot of Americans should be forced to prostrate themselves towards Britain 5 times a day, the way Muslims prostrate themselves towards Mecca, because the superior intelligence to notice something policy-ish amidst all the noise and other things is a lot more than what they can do. However, it's going to take a lot more than that to have something interesting happen. Yes. So to PT's eyes, it's still all a United Kingdom. So, yes, there's a reason why all the minutiae of Dajjal's agenda is enacted by Brits, because they're quite a lot smarter and they generally don't bore people with their fake righteousness. So yes, it totally like the questions that might need to be asked are like, why would only one politician be under certain control and all the rest are supposedly not? Why would that be played up? Like, what reaction was being hoped for? If your attention must go there, like, it might as well go there in a not thoroughly moronic way, which Brits are tending to a little bit more, so I thought I would read this. But when Divine is here carrying out the judgment, it's really a shame to put attention anywhere else. Like, there's just nothing that Divine doesn't notice. Like, he knows who's paying attention and who isn't. He's extraordinarily thorough and fair. Most likely, if the attention is used in a better way, then everything else will go more nicely too. Like, if people want to congratulate themselves for their social worker mentality, like, that's fine, but it's highly unlikely that Divine will congratulate them for it also, or that anything will go nicely by having that. Like, far worse things happen all the time than, like, the one or two that, get highlighted for a specific point. They happen all over the world. And the only way to make sure that bad things stop happening to you is to get it together and do the correct actions, which I'm trying to do a lot better at. There's a long way to go, and I'm so embarrassed about the whole thing.